Hi there, my name's Maria Pao, and I'm so happy that you're with me today. You see, we're experiencing a very dark and hard time in our life right now. Hi, my name's Maria Pao, and I'm so happy that you're with me today. You see, we're experiencing a very hard time in our lives right now where addiction is rampant. And seeing that you clicked and gave me some of your details, it's safe to assume that addiction has taken hold of your life, if not your loved one's life. And that is true for many people. At the moment, Australia stands to see the biggest epidemic in the world right now. Addiction issues is such a big issue. Alcoholism is one of the biggest predictor of domestic violence, criminality, teen pregnancy, truancy, disengagement, and also with all the other drugs that's available to people today like cocaine, marijuana, even porn and sex addiction are becoming big issues. One of the other issues is food addiction or emotional eating. To deal with the world and to deal with the stresses that life has in store for us, addiction is something that we use to soothe the pain. So that's why I wrote my very first international bestseller. And as an addiction specialist, it was a way for me to really come to grips and do a searching inventory of how addiction has affected my life. So in my book called Kill Your Addiction Before It Kills You, how I transformed my life of addictions, bipolar and suicide, I give you a definitive guide that addiction really has some deep ramifications. Sometimes some of these ramifications are not even reversible. It affects our thinking, it affects our finances, it affects our business, our ability to be able to really make great decisions to forward and advance and progress some of the goals that we may have. But you see, with addiction, some people don't even get to the good parts of their life. When I was in my addiction, which my book Kill Your Addiction documents, I was just existing, not really living. And after 20 years of addiction issues, toxic man, porn addiction, sex addiction, cocaine, methamphetamine addiction, I was so confused about life. I had no direction. I had no purpose. And this is really not what life is about. So in New Year's Eve 2012, after going through some really turbulent times in my life, I decided that enough is enough. I'm no longer going to give my power to substances, to drinking, to drugging, to medication, because without these products, without these dependents or substances that I depend on, I was really incapacitated. I wasn't able to think clearly. That's why I was in and out of psychiatric institutions in 4 countries 10 times, was because of the alcohol in my body, because of the marijuana in my body, because of the methamphetamine in my body. So the reason why I wrote Kill Your Addiction Before It Kills You, because I want you to know that I know exactly what you're going through. You see, the story of addiction is the same for everyone that has it. It's full of pain, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, and you're going to be ostracized, you're going to be pointed a finger to, you're going to be lost and confused, unable to make decisions that are good for you and your family. You're going to be in disease, you're going to have all sorts of ailments like diabetes and heart attacks, all the capacity in your body, Hashimoto's disease and autoimmune disorder. All these things is because you're ingesting toxic substances, and that's becoming a part of your life. So in my work as a certified addiction specialist, and after working with about 600 people one-on-one, what I've done is I've actually documented and video recorded all of these videos. So with about 600 clients, I had close to 1,500 videos of my coaching sessions. And with that, you're gonna have a chance to join a revolution of a life free from chemical substance dependence on alcohol and drugs and medication, because that is really a life well lived. Having no addiction to any substances is actually the 0 point. That's the point where you can start to now have clarity, start to develop your emotional stability, your resilience, and all of the things that is needed to really live a life of abundance, of wealth, of integrity, of beauty, of elegance, of complex, sophisticated thinking. See, without sobriety, without being abstinent from all of these toxic substances, life hasn't even begun yet. So I've put together a program because I completed my master's degree at University of Queensland in addiction studies, and I've learned about all the different substances and its effect on our neurological system, our physiological system, in the way that we relate to other people. And also it has an effect, and what we probably will have is some sort of a spiritual void, a life without meaning, without purpose. And we've put together a program called the 12-week Breakthrough Recovery Incubator. And I'm very, very excited about this program because I have listened to all of my coaching sessions. I have documented the things that has made people transform a life of addiction into a life of integrity and peace and clarity. And I've documented those things, and I've put it together with 3 or 4 of the best coaches that I know, and we've come up with the 12-week Breakthrough Recovery Incubator. In the first 4 weeks, we talk about, or we teach you about mindset, about the body, the things that your body needs to be able to function well, exercise, nutrition, the proper food, things that will really benefit, because in addiction we have such a disconnection with our body, you see. So in the body portion in the second week, we talk about water and the things that you need to be able to function well. And not just function, is live a life of purpose. In the third week, we talk about our soul, our journey, our purpose, our vision, why we are here in this world, and what is our contribution to the world. And then after our soul, then we look at spirit, which is really a culmination of our soul's purpose, along with all the other people in this world's soul purpose. And when we get to that foundational element in the fourth week, you'll really learn a lot about magic, about intuition, about clarity, and more about that when you go in and learn about that in the fourth week. Now, after we've done the foundational elements with you, then we go on to really do the recovery piece really well. And by recovery, I mean by recovery, there's 8 weeks that we spend, and recovery actually stands for the topic or what we're learning. So R is the first week of that. So we talk about recovery in a fun and exciting way. We get you to break through every single week. So R stands for Recovery Capital Resources. So those are the things that you need to be able to make decisions about your self-esteem, about those 10 dimensions, and we get you to fill out a form, and you rate yourself in the beginning and in the end of the program, and you will really see how you can go from a score of, usually, clients come into the coaching series with zeros or ones or tens, and by the end there's 50 question items or 50 things that we get you to develop, and by the end, you know, you probably have a score close to 40 or 50 even, and that's very exciting. So after recovery, we go into emotional intelligence, how to really be in touch with your emotions in a healthy manner, and how to really be stable within that and have the intelligence to know why your emotions are happening to you. In the C component of recovery, or in that third module, we really help you sharpen your courage to really pursue a life of long-term sustainable recovery, and also your contribution, why you're here in this world, and also connection with other people around you. Now, as we get to the letter O, or that fourth module called Overcome, then you really start to develop the skills to be able to overcome whichever addictions you might have in your life. And then we go on to the fifth module, which is Victory Mindset, as opposed to victim mindset, because really when you think about it, you are not a victim of your circumstances, but a product of your decisions. So we teach you how to really not be a victim anymore, and how to really be victorious in the way you think. So that's a very exciting module for you to learn. And then we get into another E, which is excitement and enthusiasm, how to develop that in your life, how to be more excited, how to have passion about who you are and what you stand for. And then we get to the letter R, or resilience and relinquishing reliance on things that are toxic for you. And then the last part of that recovery series is about you. Really understanding about your the ingredients that you came into this world for, because there's something much deeper that in addiction we don't really get to see. And we look at a lot of things like your personality type, your astrological sign, your weaknesses. We also really study that, because in your weakness could be your greatest strengths. Like for me, when I lived a life of addiction, I didn't know that those experiences will help me coach and be of service to the people that I'm coaching now. And that transformation is what is needed, that I had to have gone through, so I can teach and coach people the right way on how to live a life of exuberance and peace and clarity. So